Down the sound. I don't want to listen to the politics. Yeah, I already knew, and it's not. It didn't create. It caused the storm. Human beings don't create anything. Human beings cause damage to creation because of their egos. So you have to understand your linguistics. We have quantum computing now, and it's wrong for people to live in structures that are boxes to make money when money's not real. And watch this, happening to these poor people that, just shit. This is a genocidal operation, and it's to get people depressed and people that are too fat and lazy and stupid to not want to live, and then give them fentanyl and drugs and opioids. Okay, it's not time to live the Lord's Prayer yet. In 2009, it's 2025, and things are just more insidious and disgusting. We have till 2050 to clean this up because that's how long it's going to take to try to find ways to decrease the surplus population through people becoming homosexual, people ending their capacity to sexually reproduce, and people dying from opioids, depression, and sexual abuse, and emotional abuse, and mental abuse. Okay. Um, uh, I've been perfect my whole life. I've been a perfect human being my whole life, like Job, Jonah, others. Um, I was born perfect. And as far as distraction went, yeah, like I told Brian Hall in the service, you find yourself dummying up just to fit in. And it's a pain in the ass. We're out there shooting. Two kids I get the most when I'm shooting is Dale's little boy and Michael's little boy. Michael is from the Caribbean. Okay. Michael Thompson, University of Minnesota. Yeah, he's from the Caribbean, and like Tito and Al Horford, and I think Patrick's also from. Is Patrick from Jamaica? I think Patrick's from Jamaica, and then they moved out because of the poverty when he was younger, or when he was young, and then he was able to get a basketball scholarship to save his family from abuse and poverty. Tito Horford was one of my favorites when I was a kid. Tito reminds me of Buster Douglas, Al's daddy. Yeah, he just doesn't have that desire to bust his ass to win. He knew he was big and talented, and he wanted to take care of his family, and that was about as far as it went. Okay. I think the Lopez Felipe, from New York, he had similar kinds of things. He didn't have that. Like they said about me, I didn't have it. Ralph Sampson, we didn't have that Michael Jordan desire to win. No, after a while, I was like, fuck it, just win. Hell, Charlie Robinson, man. If you hit him in the face, that was when I was 15. No, when I played against Danson, Nally Newman and his cousin, that guy knocked the shit out of me and laughed every time to win a game. And I was just like, yeah, if that's what it takes to win the game, you go ahead and win. His cousin, and they were both, hey, good game. I was like, yeah, good game. I don't want to hear it. You have to cheat to beat me. It's just not a good game. And it's wrong. Dan is good for setting picks, but you got to understand they were setting moving picks. I'm too quick to get caught on those picks. I saw it after I see the first one coming. I know. Okay, see, he's moving. He ain't steady. He's gonna walk him right into me, and I will sit there and I can get around picks. I was the most athletic person in my generation on the entire planet. I just held back. And Charlie would, man, you should do. I didn't hurt anybody at Natrona County High School that day, but I sure humiliated them in the first quarter, fourth quarter. Yeah, I beat the shit out of them. I took the ball and I didn't care about their feelings or their emotions or how embarrassed they were. I scored on them like it was nothing. I did whatever I wanted. And I could pretty much do that whenever I wanted. I just didn't because it just wasn't in me. I'm just not that type of person. All I want is, yeah, one kid last night on Nightline, my happy place is my bedroom with my cat and my wife. And it's like came up to me when I was taking down the laundry. And he was, meow. He was there to raise my meow morale. And if you're seen as one of their equals, they're going to raise your morale. But if you're not, they're telling you to get your shit together. Slice telling me to raise my morale. He's not telling me to get my shit together. Nah, he's a good kid. He woke me this morning. I had to throw water at him. I'm like, Coach, we're trying to wake me up. He's like, well, you need to go to bed earlier. Oh, you think you're okay? I like Sly. He's a good cat. No, I'm not gonna let him in because he uses the bathroom in here on the floor, and I'm not gonna. I don't live in my own waste. I got the plumbing and I try to keep it clean and done and as well as I can. And I understand that. That's why because he smells mine in here, because I don't use a lot of chemicals to get rid of the thing. And he's just grouping with it, but he doesn't understand. And so I understand, that's why I have plumbing. If I could teach him to use the toilet, he could stay inside. But he can't. So he can't. If I had an extra room with a cat box and encourage him, this is your bathroom, like with Betsy. Betsy knows, she knows that the studio is her bathroom, and that's where she goes potty when she can't go outside. She likes to go outside to mark her territory, right? She's a good cat. She's a little. She can be a brat. Oh yeah, she's got that. Sly doesn't have that as much as the other ones did, where he gets skittish. It's more like she gets skittish, but then she gets. When she's not skittish, since I'll go in, no, there's mosquitoes. No, you'll go in later. Okay, and you walk away. It comes back, you bastard. It's like, don't act like a bitch, and I won't act like a bastard. Okay, do you understand? You get what hey, you just got to understand your cats. Oh, cats are that way. I like cats a lot. They're funny. Yeah, they're good critters. They're good critters. You can't let them, can't get them to get up in your face. You can't let them dominate you. You can't let them, you have to keep them off the bed or they will take over the bed and they will get in you and stuff. They're testing their limits with you. They're testing to see what they can get away with you. Dogs do the same thing. Cats are just probably even more about it. And you got to put them in there. No, you sleep out here. Or they'll do like Pebbles, try to do the door, do whatever they want, row, wake you up at 2 o'clock in the morning. In that case, you just get an outdoor in-out access room for them to live with you, but you can't trust them to respect you. Some animals are like that, just like people. You got to understand, some people will respect you. Some people will not. And you cannot trust people that are not capable of respecting you. And people that are arrogant are not capable of respecting you. I was sitting there listening to Carry On Our Wayward Son and all the misappropriation of language in those Buddhist interpretations. If I claim to be a wise man, it surely means that I don't know. That's not true. A wise man admits what he does not know. Okay. To feign humility and act like you don't know is just being arrogant and abusive. Kind of like Will Gurr's character on Jeremiah Johnson. You buried the coals too, saw that right off. Almost burnt his ass, stuff. I'm not that type of person. I'm like, no, you haven't put enough dirt, put a little bit more dirt or you're going to get burned. All right. Especially if you see it. If you don't see it, then you just go, oh, damn, you didn't put enough down. But, you should basically, if you're teaching him to do that, what you do is you come up and you feel it and check it, say, okay, you want to have it. And you tell them just about how much, with the coals and everything, you're going to need between you and your blankets so you don't get caught on fire. Okay, so you have to be, that's teaching and learning is the school of hard knocks. That's just, I had to learn that way. Well, that's because someone kind, caring, and considerate and loving wasn't there to help you through. With Steffi used to give Patrick all the time, just roll Charlie around, he'll be all right. It's like, he got hurt. He was doing something. I'm going to say, he's all right. You okay? All right, okay. Well, you don't sit there and go, oh my God, let's get him to the hospital, elevate the wound. It's like, no, it looks like you're going to be all right. Yeah, I know it hurts. It happened to me too. Oh yeah, I used to scream and cry like I was more of a bitch than you was. Okay. See? Oh, I was. That's my sisters and my brothers. Yeah, it's Earl's. I'm bleeding. So I was, oh my gosh. It hurt. They pushed me down on the tire swing and my hand got caught under the rope and all my body weight was on that hand. It hurt. Oh, it hurt. Yeah. Now I like having conversations with Mike's and Dale's little boy. Seth don't talk as much. He's quiet. I like him, but he's just very quiet. Maybe he's a good listener. I don't know. But one thing we did discuss, okay, because we were listening to music and somebody said something about the music, and they finally got them to talk about something other than basketball. And we sat there and we were again. I said, "Well, I heard sometimes that Gerald Alston could be kind of a jerk, but that's understandable because he's really good singer with lots of money and fame, but he's not the best looking guy. So he's going to get used a lot by women, like Biz Markie." And it's like, oh damn, yeah, and that's why we like Frankie Lehman. Why do birds sing so gay and lovers away the break of day? Why do they fall in love? He was not Trey Lorenz. Okay, that movie's full of shit. He was not a very good looking kid at all. Okay, but he was rich and he was a really good singer. So he just got jaded right off the bat. The only reason these girls want me is because I got money and I can sing good. Okay, so he didn't take them seriously. He got what he wanted from them, and then they would try to get what they would want from him. And then when he realized, all you want is money and stuff, and I'm gone. I'll just go have sex with the next girl. So it became like a game to him. That's why he has so many girls, is because the only reason they wanted him was for the money. It wasn't because he looked like Sam Cooke. Do you understand? And that's what happens when you involve the money. It must be the money. The money fucks everything up. And so what you have to do is just, if someone sings real nice, like that one lady that worked with my mom, with Al Jarreau, Mom was like, Al Jarreau? Why did you just? She goes, I'm not attracted to Al Jarreau, Marianne. Lots of guys hit on me, Marianne, around here. Some even richer than Al Jarreau, but I don't go out with them either. She goes, Julio Iglesias showed up next week and asked me to disappear for a week. I'd come back with a big smile on my face. And I'm like, that girl funny. I like her. Real pretty Mexican girl that worked at the ticket office with my mom at MSU. That's like, the other lady that was from near Animas that worked with me at Latch that walked up to me and said, any of us girls would just love to be with you, because they knew my wife cheated. Because the gossip at the old school and the kids came in from my old daycare that I worked at to the school. And then there was a gossip. She cheats on him, all this stuff. And so she said that. And I was like, oh my gosh, she's so beautiful. She's like a Linda Cristal she was so pretty, right? She was older than me. Okay. She was older than me. But it didn't matter to me. I'm not that shallow. And she was so, she was single and she said that. And all the girls were like, on me, like, I was like, what? And they said that because the gossip. And that's why I don't like gossip. And I tell people, don't buy into gossip. It just destroys things. It destroys marriages and stuff like that. Amy did cheat. Okay, Amy was a scientific experiment by the Temple of Set Illuminati, raised by Two Live Crew, Howard Stern, and Barbara Streisand, and Richard Dreyfuss, and stuff like that, and it's for tens of thousands of years. We were talk to the kids about this. I'm like, sitting there, you guys do understand, that these women that think their sexuality means they don't have to clean the toilet, they don't have to do this, you're too pretty to be doing all that stuff. They'll do it on film to put on a show, but then they'll play the Guatemalan and Venezuelan immigrant to do it for them at their house all the time. They'll do it when the cameras are rolling, but when the cameras aren't rolling, hell no. Get that bitch in there, have her clean my toilet. She's gonna have her fired. Okay, and this is tens of thousands of years, and that's what they were trying to do with Amy. They were trying to put her into that kind of mindset. That kind of mindset has destroyed people's humanity over tens of thousands of years. It's with Stockholm Syndrome. Yeah, if you want to call it that. If you let your ego get the best of you, you can call it Stockholm Syndrome. You can say it was his dick, but ultimately you decide what kind of a person you're going to be. Okay, guys? I love you, man. We'll be right back. I don't know. We'll see. Peace.